welcome to the Cut Night channel. My name is Shane, and today I'm going to be bringing you a message with some tarot, some archetypes, some oracle cards. I've got my candle here, connecting to the energy of the sun. It is Sunday, so happy Sunday as I'm recording this. This is a timeless reading, so whenever it finds you, there's probably a message for you here. So keep an open mind, an open heart. Use your own intuition above all else, and yeah, let's begin. So I decided, even though it is daylight outside, I shut the blinds, and I like the way this candle looked. You can see all the little light refractions caught in the camera there. I thought it looked kind of like the sun hanging in space. And since we're talking about the sun today, I thought it would be cool to just turn the lights off in here and let this be the light. But yeah, so really quick, you can see here, it is December 28th, around 12:07 p.m. as I'm recording this, and the sun is in Sagittarius, if we look at where it actually is with our own eyes and telescopes. This is called Real Sky Astrology, True Sky Astrology. It is another system of astrology. It is not Western Tropical or Sidereal. There's nothing wrong with those systems. I think those are immensely valuable as well. The ancient people use them for a reason, right? But they're just different. Western Tropical is a seasonal astrology. Sidereal takes into account the precession of the equinoxes. And then this is kind of like the next step, which is, to me, a marriage between science and mysticism, or spirituality. Which is why I like it so much, because it's in between, right? It's the coming together too. And in my meditation right before I started this video, that's what I was getting, is I was actually staring at this flame in the candle while I was meditating, and I was seeing a figure of what looked like a human kind of in the middle of the fire, like a shadow. And so I wrote down, the shadow in the fire, the light conceals, right? It's almost like this radiance. It illuminates, but it also occludes, because as you can see, I put my hand behind this fire and you can't see the palm. You can see my fingers sticking out, but you can't see the palm of my hand because the light is blocking it. So it's this dualistic aspect of light, right? Not only does the light reveal, it also conceals. And yeah, that is coming through pretty strong on this message today. Also, this idea, which came out in yesterday's live stream I did, this idea of being between, I was saying we are in what they call Twixmas, something new I learned this year, which is the time between Christmas and New Year's, if you observe those holidays. Regardless, it is a concept people think about, so, and we are currently between the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026, so we are in this like liminal space, this holding zone before the new year, newness, the next major calendrical cycle that we all share together, right? So yeah, and I thought it was interesting, as you can see here, the sun is like right on top of this depiction of Sagittarius, the head, like right on the crown. So it's like this idea of like, well, one, enlightenment, right? And two, this extreme mental focus and this massive, and I mean the sun is the center of our solar system, right? So it's this concentration of energy, connection to source, just being illuminated through the crown. Even the third eye, you know, it's kind of like on the forehead there. And Venus is getting ready to conjoin with the sun to become an exact conjunction. Mars is in this picture as well. Let's see, where did Mars go? Right there. So there's Mars, Venus, the sun, all pretty close together, yeah. So we have the masculine and feminine desire here, kind of with the sun in between, right? Being in between, yeah. It was making me think of the pillars, Joaquin and Boaz, that are depicted on the High Priestess card. She sits in between these two pillars, the white pillar, the dark pillar, one representing the masculine and feminine, the future, the past, the dark, the light, right? And in between that is the present, this moment, right? So it's this idea of being really grounded into what is now, the energy of now, and not being too caught up in the past or the future, what has already been and what is yet to come, right? It's about, there's an emphasis on really being grounded in the energy of now, of right now. Oh, I just realized I didn't set up the rest of my stuff. You know, I don't think it's really important that we look at the chart right now. I think all we really need to know is that the sun is in Sagittarius. So let's get a saying. I love starting the readings off with these. Oh wow, that really adds a lot of light to the situation, doesn't it? I'm going to edit these down to just one. Spirit, what is the most appropriate saying for this reading today? Thank you. Don't count your chickens before they hatched. Before they're hatched. Yeah, so, yeah, I had an egg come through yesterday in the live stream, and now again we have this idea of eggs hatching. And once again, it's this idea of not getting too caught up in the future of what hasn't happened yet. It's about focusing on the sphere of the present moment, and that does include a little bit of the past and a little bit of the future, because every moment is the intersection between these two things, right? We're constantly moving forward and leaving behind. It's just how we experience time, right? As humans with our consciousness. So, interesting. Interesting. Don't get ahead of yourself. Let's get a figure here, and then I will pull some cards. Figure. There we go. Alright. Ooh, time. Yeah, time, right? It's funny, these two, I know they're bells, right? Because it's like an alarm clock. But they're kind of reminding me of eggs. And then the sun, right here, in between. Okay, so we have the hour hand kind of pointing to, what, like 7? 7-11? Huh? That looks about right, because here's 12. So yeah, 11, somewhere between 10 and 11 here. About 7 here, yeah. 7-11. There's a rhyme there, 7-11, the rhyme. It's making me think of convenience because of the convenience store, 7-Eleven. Could be significant. Maybe you visited one recently, or you're going to one, or you will go to one. 7 is a very spiritual number. It's about reflection and balance. The inner world, right? Also, to me, it's kind of a breakthrough energy because you have 6 as like a harmonious, even, balanced number, and then 7 is like the step to the 8, right? This idea of being between. You could draw 2 groups of 3, and then a dot in the middle would be the 7th. So it's this idea of being in the middle again, right? And 11 is kind of the same. 2 groups of 5, 1 in the middle, 11, on the way to the 12. It's this idea of being in between, being able to see both sides of a situation. Perhaps you are the shadow in the flame, right? You're kind of radiating this energy, and maybe those around you can't fully see you for who you are because of this light, right? This light that is around you at this time. Alright, let's get some archetypes. We're dealing with, on the bottom, we started off with Eros. So this very sensual energy, maybe I can put it closer here, yeah. 71, or the number 8, coming through. I'll leave that one out. Being in the fire. I mean, there's nothing more intimate than that, right? I mean, if you're inside a flame, you're completely consumed by it. It's making me think of the biblical story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I believe, it's been a while since I've read or heard anything about the story, but I believe they end up getting put into a furnace by a king who is obsessed with gold or obsessed with wealth, material things, right? He kind of like worships this golden idol. In VeggieTales, they depict it as a golden bunny. But he ends up putting them in this furnace for some reason because they won't bow down to the golden idol. They know that their connection to the divine is from within, right? From their own inner authenticity. So he tries to kill them by burning them alive. And then they stand in the fire and they're untouched. And not only are the three of them in there, but there appears to be a fourth shadowy figure in there with them, kind of like this protective force, preventing them from being burned alive by the fire. This protective force allows them to be engulfed in the flame, but not consumed by it. So that is very relevant right now for some reason. It's funny, the box is on the bottom now, and I was hearing that, sorry, let me move my finger there. Oh, I just made it worse. There we go, the box. Before I came into this room to do this reading, I was hearing that Alice in Chains song, The Man in the Box. It actually came on the radio the other day, but it just popped in my head randomly. But yeah, the man in the box, the light in the center of this material existence, right? The fire. But there's an inversion of this. It's like this depiction shows the material kind of surrounding the light, whereas what I'm talking about is the light surrounding you, or the figure inside the fire. Very interesting. Okay. We had the maiden and the healer pop out. Here. Healer. I'm going to have to show these differently. Healer. And the maiden. So very nurturing, this idea of an egg coming through again. Also this idea of like a new feminine energy. The maiden, right? It's the first in the sequence of maiden, mother, crone. So it's the beginning, it's the rising, and we are currently in the waxing phase of the moon. Yesterday we had a first quarter moon. Today it's a waxing gibbous moon. And yeah, actually, maybe we should look at the moon. Let's see. Moon, where are you? I think it's in Pisces. Oh, okay, yeah. Yep, still in Pisces, kind of in between. It's in between. Look at that. It's in between the two fish in Pisces. I talked a lot about this anchor point, Alresha, the star that connects the two fish together, the invisible cord between the two fish yesterday. But yeah, look at that. The moon is in between. And so yeah, we currently have a waxing gibbous moon. So it's on its way to being a full moon. And in Pisces, the moon is extra watery, right? There's lots of healing energy here, right? The healer. So, very intimate, feminine, nurturing energy of this being in between, being encased, like you're inside an egg, right? Don't count your chickens before they hatched. Something hasn't hatched yet. Let's get some tarot. Interesting that on the pre-shuffle I ended up with the hermit here. And you can see he's like inside this cave, inside this protective structure. And all of these, this is the lunar tarot, but all of these cards show the moon. But you can see, let's see, we got light on the left, so there's a third quarter moon in the background. And I was saying in the live stream yesterday, that message may be very relevant to you as well. You might want to check that out. But something important is going to happen around the third quarter moon, and then here we have the third quarter moon showing up with the hermit, right? So the hermit, a very internal energy, reflective, detective. As I had Yu Yu Hakusho, the anime, coming up in yesterday's reading, and it's it starts off as the main character Yusuke Urameshi being a spirit detective, right? The show kind of evolves into more of just about fighting and tournaments. But this idea of a detective is coming through. Looking into the details. Hermit is associated with Virgo. Virgo is all about the details, specifics, getting into the nitty-gritty, right? Not counting your chickens before they hatch. Instead, looking at the thing for what it is currently, not trying to assume you already know what it's going to be. The truth. Uncovering the truth. The sun. Clarity. Consciousness. Light. A revealing. The little light refractions here that I'm seeing kind of remind me of like some phases of the moon. You can see it's around it almost looks like the moon surrounding the sun. This encasing, right? Once again, this idea of being encased or in between something. We're getting both sides of it, like the light on the inside and also the shadow on the inside of the light. This infinite like reflection of the light and the dark, constantly reversing polarity. It's a very interesting message today. I like this one. I like this one a lot. Let's see. Okay, nothing's wanting to pop out, so let me just pull some cards. We're going to have to dig today for the energy, right? Okay. Wow, the Hermit ended up back on the bottom. So yes, third quarter moon, very relevant investigative energy, very relevant self-reflection, going deep into the details, going deep into the cave, right? The box. Finding the light, the truth at the center of the maze. Here, let me put this back on so we get a little bit more light so you can see this card, but you can see it's kind of got this maze-like structure inside the box. Finding your way through some kind of labyrinth to get to the core of something. Yeah, and then underneath that we have the hunter. Yeah, detective energy, right? You're tracking down something. The number 9 coming through again here too, as well. Okay, let's see. The Hierophant. A revealing, also a collaboration of some kind. You can see he's sitting on the moon here, looking down at the earth, a higher perspective. A higher perspective of a situation. It's almost like he's hovering above. You could think of the box as the earth here, and he's able to see what is at the core of the situation because he has this higher perspective, right? This cosmic celestial perspective. Taurus coming through very strong here. Earth energy. Let's see, 9 of Wands, perseverance. Yeah. You could have been caught up in a situation that has been ongoing for a long time now, and you've been very consistent with your energy around this, very guarded in a lot of ways as well, but sticking to your guns, persevering, determined, right? Determined to find the truth of the matter. In a situation that requires healing, right? Requires care and nurturing. Maiden. Something's blossoming here. It's like the outside and the inside are both heading toward each other, and when they meet, there is a reveal. 8 of Pentacles, attainment, yeah. Yeah, this is doing the work in order to get to the truth, right? Let's see. Trying not to set the cards on fire or knock the candle over. The number 8 coming through again. We have 8 and 9. 5, 5, 9, 8. Huh, you know, this is interesting. For anyone who's into cryptocurrency, XRP is a very interesting one because it has this whole like cryptic, they're called riddlers, and they occasionally put out messages, like cryptic messages for the community to decode regarding the story of XRP and the community surrounding it. And one of the most important numbers in that community is 589, and here we have 598. So I could just switch the numbers around, and then all of a sudden we have 589. So, if you have found this and you are interested or invested in XRP, this video is extra relevant for you. This doesn't have to be about cryptocurrency, although now I am starting to see the parallels in this message and that story. 589. If you reduce that using digital roots, numerology, you can take out the 9. It's called casting out 9s because the 9's always kind of self-consumed, right? It's like a hidden number. And then you can just add 5 and 8, you get 13, death in the tarot, right? But you can reduce that further and you get 4, stability. Also the Emperor in the tarot, so this idea of like authority and power, stability, structure, right? The box, something materializing, something that people have sought after, right? The hidden value. The diamond. This card is interesting because it shows a mouth holding a diamond. The power of words. Words are spells. What do you do for a word? You spell it out. Wow, I can't believe 589 came through here. That's kind of blowing my mind right now. Okay. Yeah, we need to go deeper. The Hermit is urging us to go deeper. Oh my gosh. The Devil is underneath the Hermit. Yeah, this is that materialization, that Capricorn energy, the striving, right? The Devil and the Temperance underneath that. Balance, right? Not getting ahead of yourself, being in the present moment, being between the future and the past, anchoring into the energy of the current moment. Going with the flow, allowing the future to come in, don't resist. Follow the energy, be in tune with the energy. To me, that's what temperance is all about. It's being in the flow state, being in the present moment. That's what being in the flow state is, flowing with the energy of the current moment. The devil's in the details. That's what the Hermit and the Devil together are making me think. So the Hermit is looking for the devil in the details, looking for the cold, hard facts in the details. And once again, going back to the XRP community, that's what they do. They take the riddles from the riddlers and they try to find corroboration in our physical reality that their messaging is correct. And honestly, they do a really good job. It's very convincing. The riddlers seem to have this inside knowledge, right? Inside knowledge of the Hermit. He's inside the cave, shining a light. Inside knowledge. They seem to have this awareness of things that are going to play out. It's funny. I didn't think I would ever do this on this channel, but I feel compelled. Let's see. Bearable guy 123. He posts on every Christmas Eve every year a new image that is a riddle, and he did post one this year on the 24th. I think it was easiest to find it on Reddit. Yeah, here it is. So as you can see, 589. Right there. And here we have the Hierophant 5, as you can see the V there. 8 of Pentacles, 8. And 9, Perseverance. Oh, and you know what's so funny? This card says Perseverance on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Perseverance. Look what the rocket in this image says. Perseverancia. Spanish for perseverance, I believe. Actually, I wanna check that out. Perseverancia. I have no idea if I spelled that right. Yeah, Spanish. Perseverance. Yep. Interesting. And he's inside this rocket ship, this purple rocket ship, which in the XRP lore, purple is associated with XRP itself. As you can see on this flag, XRP. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying this stuff on the ground is money, but to me, it looks like open books. Because if you look here on this part, there's these green books, and people have interpreted this to mean clear regulations for crypto, right, and for XRP. And then down here, to me, these also look like a trail of books of clear regulation, and they're open, so it's like, you know, anyone can see it. It's like these have already been done. They're on the ground. They're grounded, right? They're on the surface of the moon here, and they create this trail that's leading to this golden sun energy over here that has this corporate hand reaching out. It just occurred to me that you probably can't see that side of the image, can you? Yeah, let me make this a little smaller. There we go. So, golden sun. This like very business-like hand reaching out with 2 beers, like clinking, celebration, right? Welcoming into the future, right? The future. Yeah, but these, if you don't know about this, definitely check it out. It's very interesting. Variable Guy 123 is a huge riddler in the space, and his images are the most fun, in my opinion. But there are others too. But yeah, you can see this is very related to this period of time. Here we have Santa. And Santa is in between in this image. He's in between. He's in between the sun over here, which is acting as the star on top of this Christmas tree. But you can see it's outside. And Santa is flying from the sun to the earth. This idea of communication coming through. Blue, the color blue, the throat chakra, right? Communication. We also have this blue king figure who's stuck on the outside of this moon base. And he's determined looking, but also dying from lack of oxygen, it appears. He's got this pin, clothespin, over where his mouth should be, or it's almost like his nose. And he has a hook for a hand. Like one of his hands were cut off. Let's see. That's his right hand. His right hand was cut off, and now he only has a hook. So his ability to take action. And now all he can do is try to like grab onto things. He doesn't have the dexterity of his full capacity anymore. Okay, this turned into like me trying to dissect this image, which is not what I intended to do, but that's what's coming through. I mean, wow. Yeah, the Hermit. Investigation, right? Looking deep into something. Trying to find the devil in the details, the concreteness. And it's interesting because in this depiction of the devil, he's holding a light behind him. He's like kind of hiding the light, right? He's occluding the light. And at the beginning, I was talking about the shadow in the light. So when something is revealed, there is still all this, like a riddle, right? We have this image that was revealed to us, but it's still hiding things. It's still occluding things. One of the most interesting things to me here is all the silver, and this was pointed out by other people in the XRP community, but silver is going absolutely crazy right now. And this image seems to be confirming that. And a lot of people speculate that XRP is somehow tied to the price action of silver. Like it's going to be following in the steps of silver. And the sun represents gold, and gold earlier this year did the same thing. It went absolutely crazy. The price exploded. People were buying up gold who'd never been invested in gold before because of what was happening. And the same thing is now happening with silver in this current moment. The energy of the moment, right? Heavy emphasis on the moon. And there is this idea of something being hidden because Pisces is a very mysterious sign. It is about mystery and endings and culminations. And the moon is right in the middle of it. So there's this very mysterious energy surrounding the moon, and guess what's tied to the moon? Silver. Silver is an element representative of the moon, just as gold is representative of the sun. The masculine and the feminine, the sun and the moon, gold and silver. In XRP, a lot of people call it a bridge currency. It's in between. It's in between gold and silver. It's a connective force. It allows you to take one thing and turn it into something else. That's the kind of was the like original, as far as I know, concept of XRP. It was meant to be a bridge currency to allow you to exchange, like the Chinese yen into the US dollar frictionlessly as possible, very efficiently. And the same thing, it could be used for real world assets like gold and silver to exchange value between the two seamlessly. It is in between. That's why that was coming through. So interesting. Okay, this to me is the most mysterious part of this whole thing. There's these two little dots inside this open box that appears to be a gift. It's got a bow on it. There's three of them, but this is the only one that's creaked open, and there's light, right? And look, these things are almost like shadows in the light, like I was saying. And I know you probably can't see it on... Let's see if I can zoom in even more. Okay. Here, let me do this so I can... There we go. I'm trying to go as far as it will possibly let me go. Yeah, but it's very interesting. So there's these two little purple dots, and this one has an upward-facing triangle at the top of it, which is a symbol for fire, alchemically. And then it has these two dots at the bottom. And it's got these like little nubs on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, as far as I can tell. And then this one also has a triangle, but it's like an inverted one. It's got the purple triangle in the center with like this white like lollipop shape surrounding it. It almost looks like a little chick to me. It's got these two little like a mouth, like a little chicken or a chick, which is funny because don't count your chickens before they hatch, right? Same thing. Like I just realized how that could imply to like being invested in something, right? Like the price of silver, for all we know, is still going up. We don't know how high it's going to go, right? No one really knows until it hits the top and then starts to correct and come back down. But same thing here. It's like XRP has kind of been trading sideways for a while. The price has been just kind of like ping-ponging between this very narrow band and not a lot of movement happening with it. But it does seem like something potentially maybe about to hatch related to this. I don't know. This, like I said, this is the most mysterious part of this whole photo to me, is these two little purple dots. I don't really know. I have not even an inkling of an idea what they could represent. But it's purple, so it's somehow connected to XRP, right? Because XRP, purple. I can't believe this video has just completely turned into like XRP community lore. But it's very relevant, and it doesn't have to be just about XRP, right? This also applies to other things, and there are probably other things going on around you, in your community, in your family, maybe your friend group, and at different scales of reality, right? Because that's how fractals work. And if life is fractal, then it has these repeating patterns all the way up and down the stack. from the cosmic scale all the way down to the earth scale, down to the family unit, down to your inner life, right? What's going on inside you. And 589 is a number of transformation. Like I said, it breaks down to 13, which is the Death card in Tarot, which is all about major transformation. The complete end of one thing and the beginning of another. And then even further, it reduces to stability. Transformation eventually materializes, right? To me, that's what the Devil card is a lot about. It's this materialization of spirit into matter, into this concrete form. Okay. Let's get timing. This idea of timing has really been coming through a lot lately, and it makes a lot of sense being the end of the year. It just occurred to me, 589 breaks down to 13. Well, we have 12 months in a year. If we had 13, well, that's a lunar calendar, right? A lot of people in the XRP community look at both calendars, the lunar and the solar calendar that we use. But the 13th month. I wonder. I'm just curious. Let's see. Lunar calendar 2025. I want to see where we're at on the lunar calendar. So there's, as far as I am aware, this one's kind of confusing. Maybe I need to find a different one. Oh, wait, Wolf Moon. Oh, the wolf has been coming through so much for me lately. Look at that, January 3rd, 3:02 a.m. Wolf Moon, and it's the full moon. No way. And you know what's interesting here? Here we have the number 13. January is the first month. And then the third, 1/3/13. Okay, we're going to have to look at January 3rd really quick. I'm pretty sure the moon's going to be in Taurus. Let's see. Okay. Let's go back to the moon. Oh, it's in Gemini. Close to Jupiter. Expansion. Jupiter represents expansion. Interesting. And look, the moon is in between again. It's in between the twins here. Kind of closer to Pollux. Interesting. So we have a full moon almost conjunct Jupiter on this. I bet if I go, here, let's pause the time. I bet if I go further, yeah, look at that. In the same day, around 2:45, the moon and Jupiter are pretty much conjunct. I bet it's at like, let's do 3 o'clock. Oh, it won't let me type it in. I'm gonna have to just see if it'll go back. Nope. Okay. So it looks like around 3:30 they go pretty much exactly conjunct. That's interesting. In Gemini, duality, an air sign, which has to do with the internet, right? Communication, exchange of ideas, communication between the hidden and the known, the unconscious and the conscious, and exchange, being in between. Okay, let's look at the sun on the same day, because we are dealing with the sun and the moon in this reading, gold and silver apparently. So on this day, the sun is still in Sagittarius, which of course a full moon means the sun and the moon are opposition to each other. The moon is the farthest away from the sun, that's why it appears to be full, because it's reflecting the full amount of light from the sun. Interesting. And look at this. Venus and Mars and the sun are even closer together at this time. I mean, this is coming up pretty soon. I mean, let's see. We have... yeah, next Saturday is January 3rd. So next Saturday, this is happening. Now, I want to look at the third quarter moon as well, because that seems to be a significant time that keeps coming up in my readings. So let's see. Third quarter moon, January 10th, 1-1. January 10th, alright, so let's see what's going on January 10th. Look at that, these are even more tightly conjunct with each other on the 10th. So this is the third quarter moon. Let's go back to the moon. Look at that. It's almost like exactly conjunct Spica. It will be on this day. We probably just need to go a little bit further. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Close to 4 o'clock mountain time is what I'm using. In Virgo. So third quarter moon in Virgo, right? Virgo, the Hermit. Third quarter moon. It's literally this card. Third quarter moon right there. In Virgo. And Spica is one of the most important, or the most talked about fixed stars in the constellation Virgo, as far as I'm aware. But look, it's the wheat. It's the harvest. Spica. The brightest object in the constellation of Virgo and one of the 20 brightest stars in the night sky. Alright, we're going to do get a little bit of AI help here. Because I don't exactly remember. Let's see, in astrology, what does Spica represent? Spica is considered one of the most benefic, that means good, fortunate, fixed stars, symbolizing abundance, success, protection, and the fruitful harvest of past efforts. Fruitful harvest of past efforts. Okay. I feel like something big is going to happen to maybe gold, silver, and XRP on January 10th. Maybe even between the 3rd and the 10th. Like the 3rd leading up to the 10th. The 10th seems to be, I don't know, just in my personal reading, it seems to be some kind of culmination of a lot of different things. Spica is the bright star in Virgo's wheat sheaf, so it represents harvest, fertility, and the rewards of diligent work. It is traditionally described as bringing good fortune, wealth, honor, and protection, often regarded as one of the luckiest stars in the sky. Wow. Ancient and modern astrologers link Spica with artistic and intellectual talent, eloquence, and a love of arts and sciences. When strongly placed in a chart with the sun, moon, or ascendant, it is said to indicate people who are clever, creative, high-minded, and often successful or prominent. Because it is in Virgo's hand as an ear of wheat, Spica also symbolizes spiritual refinement, purity, and the idea of planting seeds and later reaping karmic or spiritual rewards. Some esoteric traditions associate Spica with healing, a sense of being guided or protected in alignment with higher wisdom or mystery teachings. Wow. Yeah, so very awesome fixed star in the constellation of Virgo, Spica. So, the message cannot be more clear. Something you have been invested in, you have been digging into the details of, you have been putting the work into, there is going to be a culmination or some kind of reward or harvest related to this January 10th. I've never gotten such a clear date in a reading before. This is kind of crazy. But yeah, the third quarter moon, January 10th. Spica conjunct the third quarter moon. around 4 p.m. Mountain Time, which I believe is UTC -7, if that makes it easier. I can't believe this is so crazy. Okay, I still want to look at the lunar calendar. Let's see. Lunar phase dates and times, full moonology. Indicates the dates of the 4 core lunar phases for each moon coming up in the future. All phase dates and times are in the USA. Eastern time adjusted for daylight savings time, part of the year. The new moon is the first... Okay, maybe I'm looking for the wrong thing. I think this is not quite what I'm looking for. I want the 13-month calendar. Known as the International Fixed Calendar, consists of 13 months of 28 days each. Yeah, this is what I want, totaling 364 days, with an extra day added as a holiday at the end of the year, making 365. In 2025, this calendar aligns with the Gregorian calendar, meaning January 1st, in the fixed calendar is also January 1st in the Gregorian calendar. Whoa, that's crazy! They line up. It's so interesting because 2025 is the 9 year, right? Because 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9. And this is it's a reset, right? You go from 9 to 1. You go, because 2026 is 4 plus 6 is 10, which is 1. This is blowing my mind. Wow, okay. Okay, so they line up. Where can we look at one? Let's see. 13-month calendar. Let's see if this one will actually let us look at it. Yeah, I think the 13-month calendar starts in April because that's the vernal equinox, right? It's the start of spring. It should only have 28 days, though. This does not appear to be correct. I didn't think it would be this hard to find. International Fixed Calendar. Maybe it'll, on Wikipedia, we'll have something we can see. Sorry, Wikipedia. I'm going to have to ignore you for now. The International Fixed Calendar, also known as the Cotsworth Plan, the Cotsworth Calendar, the Eastman Plan, or the Ural, was a proposed reform of the Gregorian calendar designed by Moses B. Cotsworth, first presented in 1902. That's a 3-year. Take out the 9. You could leave in the 9 and get 10 and 2. 1 plus 2 is 3, so it goes to 3 either way. The International Fixed Calendar divides the year into 13 months of 28 days, a type of perennial calendar. Every date is fixed to the same weekday every year. Though it was never officially adopted at the country level, the entrepreneur George Eastman instituted its use at the Eastman Kodak Company. Oh, look at that, Kodak. In 1928, where it was used until 1989. Another 9-year, 1989. While it is sometimes described as the 13-month calendar or the equal month calendar, various alternative calendar designs share these features. 28 days each, divided into exactly 4 weeks. 13 times 28 equals 364. An extra day added as a holiday at the end of the year after December 28th, i.e. equal to December 31st on the Gregorian, sometimes called the year day. It does not belong to any week and brings the total to 365. Each year coincides with the corresponding Gregorian year, so January 1st in the Cotsworth calendar always falls... Oh, it always falls on the Gregorian January 1st. Okay. That's interesting. So that's not that crazy. They always... Okay. This is why you have to get into the details, right? 12 months are named and ordered as the same as those of the Gregorian, except that extra month is inserted between June and July, called Sol. Oh, the sun. Sol. between June and July. Interesting. So in the summer. Situated in midsummer from the point of view of its northern hemisphere authors and including the mid-year solstice. The name of the new month was chosen in homage to the sun. Yeah. Wow. Leap years in the International Fixed Calendar contain 366 days, and its occurrence follows a Gregorian rule. There is a leap year in every year whose number is divisible by 4, but not if the year number is divisible by 100, unless it is also divisible by 400. That's so complicated. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Common arrangements of all months. The two special dates have been recorded as either the 29th day of the month ending or the 0th day of the month beginning, or more correctly, as outside any month and week with no ordinal number. The day outside of time. The date for 23rd December 2025 using this calendar is Saturday, 21st December 2025. Okay, so today's the 28th. So how would you... Matching dates on the Gregorian calendar. The following table shows how the 13 months and extra days of the International Fixed Calendar occur in relation to the dates of the Gregorian calendar. Oh, I see. So January 1st to January 28th are the same. So January, the first month, is always the same between the Gregorian and this 13-month calendar. This is where it changes. The 29th of January is in the Gregorian is the first day of February for the 13-month. And then the 25th of February is the last day of February for the 13-month. This is kind of a weird chart, kind of hard to read. Okay, so where are we? We are in December. We are on December 28th. So the 28th day of the 13-month calendar would be December 30th. So it's 2 days behind. So in the lunar calendar, today is the 26th of December. And then the year day will be the December 31st, right before the new year. Luni-solar calendars with fixed weekdays existed in many ancient cultures, with certain holidays always falling on the same dates of the months and days of the week. The idea of a 13-month perennial calendar has been around since at least the middle of the 18th century. Versions of the idea differ mainly in how the months are named and the treatment of the extra day. Okay, we don't have to go too much further into this. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. And it's very much tied to the phases of the moon, because there are 13 moon phases within a year. And if you track those to days, then you always end up with 28 days in a month. The word month comes from moon, right? They're tied etymologically together. Interesting. Okay. I guess I could just also ask, let's see. Let me go back here. I don't want a follow-up question, I want a new question. Why can't I? Maybe I just go back. There we go. Okay. So, what is today in the 13-month calendar? I just want to check my math here, see if we get a hit. In the International Fixed Calendar, today's Gregorian day of Sunday, December 28th corresponds to Sunday, December 28th in the 13th month, with the following day treat it as the year end. Okay, that's not correct. Because if that was so, then today would be the last day. Yeah, that's not correct. Because if January 1st always lines up with both calendars, then the 28th of December is the 31st of December on the Gregorian calendar. The 28th is the 13-month calendar. This is why you can't always just trust AI answers. Now, I knew it was right about Spica because I had done previous research on that. I just wanted it to give me kind of a refresher. But, yeah. So, always check your AI answers, people. Always. Right? Be a hermit. Dig deeper. Check the sources. Go to the source. See how he's in the cave? Right? Go to the source. Make sure you can trust the source, too. Because not all sources are trustworthy when it comes to information. Gotta use your intuition and your intellect together, the masculine and the feminine. Yes, we're going back into the message now. Okay, so it's this idea of being balanced, being in between. You're that point in between, right? Keeping both sides balanced. Using your intuition, but also using your intellect to verify your intuition. Don't just go off of hunches all the time. You can't always be correct, right? We can easily misinterpret the signals that are coming from inside of us. That's why you have to trust but verify. One of my favorite sayings ever. Trust but verify. Because your verification of some truth may also lead you to some other insights, to some other truth that someone else may not have even considered. If you do your own digging into something in order to solidify this hunch, this belief that you have, then you're also going to see more angles of it, more sides of it. It's like you're taking this 3D object, right? We'll use this stone as an example, and you are, let's say you're just looking at this side, right? And you're like, oh, it's a really nice stone, it's really smooth, but not that interesting, I guess. It's kind of a gray stone, it has a nice shape. But then you look at this side, and oh my god, there's an engraving here. What does it mean? What does this figure represent? Honestly, I don't know. My best guess for this figure is, to me, it kind of looks like a penguin or a beaver wearing a mat, like a fencing mask. But he's in a really cool pose. I found this stone in the garage of the house I'm currently staying in. But yeah, it's very, very cool stone. But yeah, that's the whole point, right? You have to look at it from multiple angles. You have to take it and turn it around and feel it. Maybe smell it. Does it smell like anything? This, not particularly, right? You know, what do the engravings feel like? What color are they? What does it possibly mean, right? How can you find out more information using other sources? Yeah, you get the point. But yeah, so the message here is we are in a time of being detectives, being spiritual detectives, right? Taking the energy, the messages, the information we are getting from the other side or within, right? The other side is within us, all of us. We all have the ability to connect to source, right? You only have to deepen that connection by going within. Anyway, verifying those signals you're getting with details from what's around you in the physical environment, right? Finding the devil in the details. And it can be really fun, like that whole little rabbit hole that I just went down. It's fun to learn new things and how things work, and also what you can and can't trust, and what is sometimes reliable and sometimes not reliable, right? Obviously, AI struggles with, I have noticed it struggles with timing and dates, especially when it comes to questions about astrology, what the planets are doing, and converting one calendar into another. It doesn't seem to do that very well. And here's the perfect example of that, right? We know this is not correct, because if it was December 28th on the 13th calendar, then that means tomorrow would be the new year, and it is not. So, yeah, regardless, very interesting stuff here, guys. I'm gonna round this out. This one's going on a lot longer than I thought it would. We're already at an hour on my timer here. Excuse me. Timing, right? Confirmation burp for timing. So we just hit the hour mark. So I'm gonna get some advice with some verbs. And we are going to reduce these. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna leave the 12. We're gonna leave the 12 here. Bolt. This is like fast action on something, right? Like lightning speed, bolt. It's also this idea of securing something, to bolt something down. So it's like securing something quickly. Disagree. So it's okay to disagree with people. Don't be afraid to speak your voice. You know? Challenge people. That's what disagreeing is. It's challenging someone else's perception of any given thing, right? It's okay to disagree. You don't have to get mad about it. It's just, you're saying this, but actually I don't agree with you because, and then be specific. Tell them why you don't agree with them. Give them some really good reasons. Deceive, yes. So this deceptive energy has been coming up quite a bit this year, just in general. Since I started doing these I started this channel this year, and this deceptive energy, I mean, there's always some level of deception, whatever, even what we see, right? Going into like Hinduism, the Maya, the veil, this reality that we see is kind of a deception. It is not the truth of who we really are. Who we really are is Source, you know, hiding itself from itself in order to have experience and to know itself better, in order to allow for understanding and mystery and surprise and all the things that make life magical, right? So deception is not necessarily inherently a bad thing always. Some level of deception is necessary for surprise. Like, if you want to throw somebody a surprise birthday party, you have to deceive them. You have to say, oh, let's go here. We're going to go do this. And then you get there and everybody jumps out and yells, surprise. Guess what? You deceived them. But you created a magical moment by doing so. You created a memorable moment. Like, they had, you know, they were probably, like, taken aback. Not everybody likes surprise birthday parties, but that's just one example. You get what I'm saying. Gifts are deceptions. You wrap things in boxes to conceal what is really within. It's a deception. The gift is not the box itself, it's what's inside. It's what's inside the box. You have to go inside to get to the real value, right? You have to go deeper, more intimate. The Hermit. You have to look beyond the devil itself to see the light within. Beyond the fear, right? Of not knowing. We're going to go through all these because I feel they're all relevant. Tap. As a verb. It's like testing something, right? You tap on something. You can tap on specific points on your body in order to activate different energy centers, like acupuncture, right? They're activating specific energetic points within your body, but you can also do that just by tapping, right? I forget what it's called. It's actually a practice that people do, but you just in Qigong, it's something you do. I think they call it tapping on the door of life. When you do this, you kind of like sway back and forth rhythmically, and it's to wake up your energy centers, to allow the flow of energy to move more efficiently through your body, to allow your body to heal itself. And yeah, tapping on something, it's also like this idea of like tap into, right? When you're tapping into something, like the Hermit here, he's tapping into this cave, right? By going in. You are discovering You are being a detective. You are going deeper. You are interacting with this energy on its terms and trying to understand it more fully from all the different perspectives. By rotating it, by feeling it, by smelling it, tasting it. Maybe I'm not going to lick this rock. I'm not going to do it. Don't know where it's been. But yeah. Grip. This is holding on to something. And this is advice here. So it's not a bad kind of holding on. This, I think it's the 9 of Wands, the 9 and the 589 that came out, right? Perseverance, holding on to something. You are close to the culmination of something very big, and the advice is to maintain that grip and go deeper. And it seems like something is happening very quickly, so be ready to bolt. Be ready to jump into action. Be ready to seize the opportunity, right? Something is going to happen very quickly. Blind. Yeah, this goes with deceive. Something is veiled. Something is veiled here. And that's okay, because it's meant to be that way, right? Whatever the story is that's playing out, it was meant to be. That's why it's happening. It's an experience for you. Whether you perceive it as bad or good, try to be in this neutral position, right? Temperance. To be at harmony with the good and the bad. Take the good with the bad, as I like to say. To be in this very composed state, right? Queen of Swords. Even says composure there on the bottom. In this, we have a first quarter moon, which we just had yesterday. So yes, you need to be in the state of being open, listening, right? She's got her sword down. She's not talking. She's not speaking. She's listening. She's receiving information. She's looking into things. She's not taking action yet. But there will be a time when you need to activate that masculine side of yourself and take action. Bolt. Quickly. But not yet. It's not time yet. I think the time is going to be either the 3rd of January, the 10th of January, or all of those days in between. Or somewhere between the 3rd and the 10th. That seems to be a very specific time period related to this message. Work. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles. Right? Work. Remain diligent. Persevere. Stick to it. Maintain your grip. Now we have obey, which is interesting. So there may be some element of rules, framework that you are operating within. And I think the advice here is to do things within that framework, within the bounds of the rules, the laws, the structure of whatever this is for you. Don't try to do anything shady or manipulative, right? Don't be deceptive when it comes to the way something is structured. Make sure you are following regulations and doing things through the appropriate channels. I think that's the advice there. Increase. So this is interesting. Nothing on this message is financial advice. In fact, all the videos on this channel are for entertainment purposes only. Take what you want from it, leave what doesn't work for you, you know? I am just here to share what I am perceiving myself with the world, and if it relates to you, awesome. If not, it's not for you, and that's okay. But I say all that because the advice here coming through seems to be to increase your investment in something, whether that's the amount of work you're putting into something, 8 of Pentacles, the level of depth you are diving into something, the amount of people you are collaborating with, the Hierophant, right? Or the actual physical value you're putting in something like if you're invested in XRP. I think that the advice is obvious here. But once again, this is not financial advice from me. This is a message from Spirit for entertainment purposes only. I am obeying the laws and regulations, right? I'm not trying to get sued here. But yeah, use your own intuition. Always verify your own hunches, as I was saying earlier. If you feel that is a good idea to increase your investment in something, whatever that means for you, whether that's related to energy, time, actual financial value, that's completely up to you. You have to make that decision for yourself. I keep forgetting I put the camera here. I'm so used to having it directly in front of my computer, and now I have it kind of off. But yeah, you. Expand. Increase, expand. This is Jupiterian energy, Jupiter, and we have, once again, the sun in Sagittarius, and guess who the ruling planet of Sagittarius is? Jupiter. Expansion, big, adventurous energy. Yes. You may want to look, if you're into astrology, look at what's going on with your Jupiter placement, whether that be Western tropical astrology, sidereal, true sky, real sky. Doesn't matter which framework you use the one that you like. It's all going to have meaning and value. I guarantee you. But definitely check out what's going on with Jupiter in your natal chart. Fasten. Buckle up. Buckle up. Strap in. Something's about to bolt. Something's about to take off. Fasten. I'm telling you, there's a big shift going on, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's funny because often, once again, in the XRP community, you'll hear people say, buckle up. You know, we're going to the moon. It's funny that these terms are coming through here again. But yeah, fasten. This could also be the idea of fastening other things down, not just yourself, but like the things that you value in your life, right? And share. Yes, share. Give back. Give back. And that's kind of what I hope I'm doing here. For a long time, throughout a large portion of my life, I never wanted to do anything like this. I've never wanted public attention. I never wanted to be on stage. I've always loved playing music, but I always like doing it for myself. I don't even really like playing for a singular other person, right? I like to do it in the privacy of my own space, and it just puts me at peace, and I don't have to prove myself to anyone. I don't have to be good. I don't have to be judged. It just feels good. But when you collaborate, right, the Hierophant, this energy of collaboration, joining together, it literally says on the bottom of this particular version of the Hierophant, you create magic. When you come together with other people, you create actual magic. Because we all hold different aspects of Source, right? We are all refractions, fractals, reflections of the same divine Source. So we all hold a different key, a different piece of the puzzle, and when we put those things together, it creates a larger picture of magic. And so that's why you share. Because when we come together, when we share our knowledge, when we share our experiences, when we share our messages, we are opening the doors for other people. I heard some people say recently, actually, other tarot readers, that you can hold the keys for someone else. And it doesn't mean that you hold the key to everything they've ever wanted. It means you hold a very specific piece of them that they have been searching for. And you have the ability to unlock something within them because of who you are and the experiences you've had and what makes you you. When you are being authentically yourself, you are able to retrieve those keys for others deep from within and give them. That's what sharing is about. Giving people the keys to unlock things within themselves. You being the most authentic version of yourself that you can possibly be, despite what anyone else thinks or what they may say, no matter how they may disagree with you or try to grip onto some version of you that you had previously been that wasn't really your authentic self, it doesn't matter. Because when you shine authentically, it burns through all of that. All of that fades away. It melts away like this candle, right? Your light cuts through all of the misconceptions, all of the darkness, but you have to allow it to burn brightly. Easier said than done. It is definitely a 9 of Wands situation. It requires extreme perseverance and dedication. Wands are fire. So this is feeding your fire, keeping the fire stoked, right? Putting in the work, to maintain that authentic spark within you. Wow, this message, not at all what I expected. I thought this would be like a 20-minute message, and this has just been like a rabbit hole, literally, right? Going in deep into the cave here. I mean, this message was definitely, it relates to myself very heavily. Like, I'm very grateful for this coming through, and I'm glad I spent the time to sit here and work through this energy, because I could feel it. I could feel I needed to do this, and I'm glad I did. So I hope that you have found something useful in this as well, and I want to thank you for being here and hearing me out. I'm going to close it up now. As always, take care of yourselves, keep your heart open, and yeah, happy Twixmas. Happy between days. For any holidays you're celebrating, I hope they are joyful, positive. I hope you are able to find connection and share and find meaning. I hope that it is a magical time for you in all of the ways that it possibly can be. So, that's all. Bye.